right, so first and foremost, happy 2016 to everyone. And I hope that everyone had a good year last year and you have a even better year this year. So my first video, my first build of the year is this throne. So I got approached by a friend of mine's, and he wanted to know if I can create a throne for Black Panther. And I had never done that, but I said, I'll give it a try. And actually, what motivated me even more was that he wanted to trade. So actually, what I'm getting back in trade is this Daredevil, not this Daredevil, but this mold with his most recent uniform in the Marvel comics now, which is mostly a black. Most of it is black, and actually the logo is a little different. And I keep saying the word actually. So that would be the last time I use the word actually. So I didn't know how to approach it. I had been kind of bouncing it in my head for a little bit. So today I took some pieces with me to work, and I said, you know what, let me try to figure this out. So the first thing I needed to figure out was what were the measurements of this throne. So I took a Hydra soldier with me, actually. Same mold as this one, which is the same mold as Black Panther. And basically what I did, and I don't have a ruler with me, forgot to grab one. What I did is I measured from here to his feet. I measured from the back of his leg to basically the back of his butt. I measured from the top of his head to the bottom of his butt. I measured how it would, when he has his arm like this, to rest it on the throne. What's the height from here to there? And basically what I came up with was just a scribble of what it was, so it was, 1.5 inches there, 3.5 inches from there to there. And so what I did with this information is just started measuring, but I had to add an inch to everything because of the thickness of the foam board. Not to everything, but to a lot of parts. So this is going to look foreign to most people, but that's how I kind of worked it out. It's all about measuring, really. When you have no idea, you just measure it. So what I came up with is this piece, which is, or these pieces. They look a little funny now, but they pretty much connect. Let me see. For example, this one connects to this. So now you're kind of starting to see it a little bit, and this becomes where he sits. So you have a little bit of an idea what it looks like. So anyway, I just wanted to do this quick portion first, just so you guys can see how it's gonna, how it looked before it was all glued up. I'm gonna glue it now, carve it up a little bit, dent it up a little more, and start painting after that. So here is phase 1, and we'll be back. Peace. All right, everybody. So we have progressed to the point of finishing most of the carving for this mini dial. This is going into a DTOF, and the last segment was just pieces of the throne. I had kind of put it together for a quick second. So I finished gluing the pieces together, adding some more. I definitely wanted to make sure that I added some pieces that would stick out a little bit more and give it some depth, and that was very important. This is the King of Wakanda's throne. This is Black Panther's throne, so I wanted to make sure that it definitely had that look to it. The back piece is going to be magnetized. I haven't had a chance to magnetize. I just finished carving it. This is going to go inside of a DTOF, so it's going to look really good. It's going to fit into this DTOF. It has been measured to fit there. And so now the next step, and real quick, because I know people may ask, that is not, somebody said that it looked like a really good, or it was good that it took advantage of 3D printing. That is not a 3D print. That is a foam board. That's the dollar store foam board. So what I did is I just Googled Black Panther logo. I found this. I printed out the logo, and then I sized it to make sure. I printed it, to make sure it was sized to fit the throne. And then what I did is I laid that paper on top of the project foam board, the dollar store stuff, which with the paper peels easily off of both sides, and then use the glue gun, or not a glue gun, rather a glue stick, and then with the glue stick I kind of laid it flat, and then I just used an X-Acto blade and pretty much carved it out. And so this was the result. And now that I'm looking at it from this point of view, the eye needs to be widened up a little bit on my left hand side. So yeah, so I'm pretty much done with the carving at this point. I just have to do a few of these chips that you see there on the back wall, and then magnetize it, paint it, and it'll be ready to go. So the next segment you're gonna see is the finished product. Also, quick side note, this video is the last of its kind. This is the last video that I'm gonna create with this type of format, where I kind of start off from, you know, just kind of showing the cut up board, and then I just kind of go through the phases of it. For the most part, I've always wanted to get my videos under 10 minutes. And so what I've decided to do, for a couple of reasons, is I'm just gonna record the finished product. I'll do the whole taking it apart, you know, and going through the dimensions and so forth, and then I will show like a slideshow at the end of progress pictures. I won't get into too many details on explaining what I did. I've put in about 2 years of sharing information. This was taught to me, you know, the whole making of dials was taught to me by Bob Diod and AJ Frost. And I felt it was important that I did the same thing. If I got any type of skill, or if I got to a skill level where I felt I can share, it was important that I shared how I did this and what materials I used and so forth. But it's been 2 years. I have enough of a collection of videos that a lot of questions can be answered. People still ask me to this day what kind of foam I use. So clearly they're not really, a lot of people aren't really watching the whole video, or they're being lazy and they don't feel like putting in the work. So it's time for you guys to put in some work and figure out your own techniques and figure out your own direction. This is not to say that I'm bitter in any way. This is more than anything is just changing directions, and also, you know, understanding that the dial structure community has gotten really good. And so it's my time. It's my time to move on from that style of video and just do some different things. You know, again, it's been a couple of years where I've just been sharing it all, which I don't mind doing, and I will continue to share, but it's going to be on a limited basis. I think it's really important for artists to figure it out, to experiment, to create their own thing and not work off of what I'm working off of. Not to say that's what's always happening. And I don't mind giving out information, but it's important that people are figuring it out on their own. So this is it, man. This is the last time that you'll see this type of formatted video where, again, you know, just from beginning to end, not necessarily tutorial style, but just going through that process. The next time you'll see a video, it's just going to be a little bit different. I know some of you guys really enjoyed the way that I present these videos, and some people might be turned off by the new direction I'm going in, but it's more of a creative thing, man. It's more of a, you can't kind of, you know, recreate yourself. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over. So this is where I'm at. So this is going to be the last video like this, and obviously if you guys have any questions, hit me up. A lot of times when I'm getting questions where I've given the answer out in various videos, I'm honestly not even going to tell you what, you know, somebody has asked me recently, you know, where do you get the glass? I don't use glass. Well, what do you use? I've mentioned it various times. So if you really want to find out and you're interested in dials, then research it, be that simple. You know, it's not difficult to do. All right, so the next segment is just going to be the finished product, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I am officially done with this Black Panther throne. This was a piece this is a trade piece with my homie Ja from New Jersey. He created a custom Daredevil for me. I created this Black Panther throne for him. It's in Marvel Legends 6-inch scale. And, you know what I didn't get from the beginning was the measurement. So we're looking at about, I don't know, 13 inches across. About the same, actually no, about 11 inches deep. And the height is about a foot, with the throne itself being about, I don't know, 10 feet. Yeah, made entirely out of balsa wood. And that's it. There's not much else to say. This is going into a D12, so I had to size it for a D12, but this part is removable. And then there you can get a better idea of, although I kind of went through the process, but of how I constructed this. Especially when you look at the bottom, just the kind of the pieces that I made to give it this look. The back piece is magnetized. And again, this is going into DTOF, and it'll look really good once the light is kind of shining down. I only have one hand available, so I won't be able to pose Black Panther too well, but I kind of pre-posed him a little bit. So essentially, you're looking at that. Alright, so I hope he likes it. I sent him a picture yesterday. He said it looked good. So I can't wait for him to get it in hand and tell me what he thinks. I received the Daredevil last week that looked really, really good, and I'm happy for that trade. Now it is on to the next one, and again the format will be a little bit different on this next dial. You're just going to see the finished dial with stills of the progress at the end of the YouTube episode. Alright, y'all, and I'm out.